I actually have a corporate background, corporate PR. Until one day I got bored at work and then I sent an article to NST, turn over my life. That, oh, I really like this thing. So I got into the media. My parents nearly had a heart attack. Actually, they had. I've been writing for 20 over years, Yasmin. And then when, as you get to this age, you tend to reflect a lot. I really enjoy the process of writing and research and talking to people, finding out their lives. The way I work is always based on gut and inspiration. It's not the greatest career strategy, but it works for me. As I got older, I was very curious to know what it meant to be Muslim or Malay. You've got to be open and you cannot judge. I'm a frustrated researcher. I would love to be an academic or a researcher, right? I was fascinated. You would say this, but why do you say this? And it started like that lah, with I Am Muslim, the first one. I was in England. I met a lot of these men and women, Malay men and women who left for Europe in the 50s, 60s and never came back. So it was fascinating because these Malaysians, they spoke bahasa Malaysia like P. Ramlee tau. So I felt like I was in a P. Ramlee film, but they were wonderful. I wouldn't want to say they had sad lives, This is a life they chose. But you come from different generation, you think, why do you do this? And then you meet their grandchildren, their children who say, we're Europeans first. Our identity is of a region, of a nation, more so than a race or a faith. And I'm modern, but I'm also, I have this bit in me, the Terengganu side, the Muslim side, going, hey, how does this work? I do my best to be a good Muslim. Obviously, in the eyes of many, I'm not perfect as, free hair and all. But I know I do a lot more other things because that's what I do. But I don't tell people, especially in the age of social media, you smayang also, everyone knows, which I think there's something wrong with your head. I call myself as a functioning Muslim in the sense that you do your best. I am a human being, There are days when you go, oh, is it working? Okay, I got to do this, You refer to the Quran when there are things that you don't understand. You refer to the Hadith. But like everyone else, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, you have this, like, ayo, how? I think that is what unites us. And I am worried. Now that I am working in research, I am worried with how Malaysia is going, where you only identify people by their race or their faith. And they say, what about their goodness? There are very many good people. There are angels. It's just that, why must you define them by a category? Is that healthy? I don't like the way race and religion is being politicized. I know, like, see, I'm orang tua, and my parents, and everyone keeps talking, dulu, we never like this, our friends like this, we go to temple, which is fantastic. But you cannot depend on nostalgia alone. What is going to happen for Malaysians, young Malaysians? What are they going to inherit? What are their identities? And already through the work that Iman has created, when you have young people who are actually questioning identity, I don't feel Malaysian enough. If I am Malaysian enough, why aren't these things happening to me? What does that speak about a country? Are you going to say that they're less nationalistic, patriotic? Not necessarily. Do we really understand what it is? Is this culture? Obviously, a lot of us are shirking away from our culture, because we don't have a strong hold on our language, on our kebudayaan. So I guess I write about that. And holy men, holy women. Okay. I wrote I Am Muslim, right? Because it was inspired by the people I met in Europe. And then I thought, okay lah, adventure lah. Met all kinds of people and I'm like, oh my God, KL. Then I joined the Malaysian Insider. Then they said, look, can you do a continuation? And I said, ayo, don't want lah, the boring. And then they said, you have to have a column. So I said, ayo, what do I do? So I think I'm very blessed like you, Yasmin. We have friends from every race, It started with a good friend again, I have to thank my friends for what, you know. They said, "Hey, you never go to ni Taipusam? Never lah." And then he said, "I'm going for prayers. Do you want to come?" And I thought, yeah, but he said, "You don't bising-bising lah, penat lah, then you banyak complain." So I said, okay. I wore the wrong, wardrobe for that. I wore kitten heels. I wore this, jeans just because they okay, we're going to be fashionable here. Then I saw batu case. I said, Ya Allah, 276 mati aku dah naik. But you know what? Even though it was tough, okay, I was following my friend. He said, "Look, you hold on to my hand because there'll be people carrying the chariots up the sea." And I was like, look, it was, it's not only you mengah tau, it's high up. There were many people, and there were people carrying chariots and all that, because they had to pay, they do their vows and all. And I'm going, oh goodness. And you think, you know what, this is happening in Malaysia. This is not just a tourist attraction. This is where believers. And one thing I keep telling everyone, I said, you've got to stop. You've got to realize that Malaysia is a nation of believers, right? I don't know about the percentage of atheists. I haven't done, but we have Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Buddhist people who believe. This is a country of people who believe in a faith. Yeah. And don't forget that, there are values, there are, things here that we all share. Why do you have to keep dividing? And, from Taipusam, the next 2 days, the mouth like, wow, sakit kaki and all that.
You managed to climb all the way up?
I did. Then I lost my friend. Then I said, oh God. And I remember I panicked a bit because there was no Wi-Fi, it was just interesting to just talk to anyone, and just say, hey, hi, I'm a bit lost. I think you just have to be a bit shameless in a sense. Say, hi, sesat sikit lah, you can tell me why you do this. And people, I think they can pick out when you are very curious, so they tell you things. After that, I started going to Sarawak a lot. Our contact said that, why did you get to know this? So I went, and I remember when I went and saw Gawai for the first time, seeing the shamans, the women healers. When you saw all that and the gongs being played, I remember saying, and I still feel that, I said, I can't believe it. I'm actually here. Of course, there were a few tourists, so they said, we'll bring you to another part where you see a community. It was a rough and tumble way of living for the next 10 days. But I thought, I am really blessed by this because I'm actually seeing these women and their husbands trying to hold on to a culture which their children don't want anymore. They're a lot more Christians or Muslims, and the older generations just trying to hold on. And I just said that, if I don't document this, even though I'm not a researcher, it's going to be something, I felt it was very personal. Every one of my book, I feel that it's very personal. And I just said, I feel just very, very blessed, and that's another adventure that I did where, I like massages. So my aunt said, look, kat Terengganu ni ada makcik ni, she's very good. She works as a nurse. The only thing is, if you go to her house, it's kat sebelah, kandang kambing. I said, you got to be kidding, kan? But, anything for a massage, okay? So I went. I said, oh my God, it's really next to kandang kambing, tau. But she was poor. But she received me with open arms. And she was a good masseur. It was very surreal. Dia duk, duk picit-picit you kan. And then kita ni duk rock kan. Setakat, sedawa. Lepas tu suddenly there was a kambing that's going, meh, meh. I said, my Lord. Only I will get into adventures like this. But she was such a good person. And she was telling me, it was really funny. She said, oh, I know when angin is a Malay angin, Chinese angin. Really lah? Kata macam mana ni pula? Lain tau. Pasal dia makan makanan macam ni. Whether it's real or not, I just said, I'm really blessed. That's why whenever the few readings I do, you meet people. I said, you really should get to know your neighbor. whether you agree with it or don't understand it, this is their life. Can. Okay, there are things that you don't want to do. You don't have to eat pork. You don't have to drink alcohol. Just observe, and you may think, but you know what? That's not for you to judge. That's not your life. Let them be. And I really feel that Malaysia has so much, it's under research. There's so much to discover.